Hello Central School, it's Mrs. Hewing. We're getting close to Christmas break and I have some great books I want to tell you about. Maybe you can check them out from the library before you take off for Christmas break. Now, I pushed myself a little bit out of my comfort zone. Those of you that know me and have had me before know I hate scary books. But I went ahead and checked out some books about ghosts and things that are a little bit scarier, so they might be of interest to some of you. Now, the first book I started off with is book number 1 in the Haunted Library series. Okay? Now this is my kind of ghost story. It has a cute, friendly ghost on the cover. Okay? This is Kaz. Now he's an ordinary ghost, but the thing is, Kaz does not like flying through walls. But in the first book to this series, you find out how Kaz gets separated from the rest of his family. He ends up in a library that everyone else thinks is haunted. And Kaz and this little human girl become friends, and they work together to discover if the library is truly haunted. Now, a little bit more spooky here for those of you that are into scary books. This is The Beast Beneath the Stairs, part of the Library of Doom series. Okay? In this book, the librarian returns to his huge doomed castle in the underground library, and within it he discovers a horrible beast. Okay, next up on the list is the first book in the books of Elsewhere. This is called The Shadows. Now this was a Blue Stem book a few years ago and I read it then, but I went ahead and just reread it again recently. It's still kind of creepy and I don't know, kind of scary. I'm not too crazy about scary books myself. But in this book, our main character, Olive, has just moved into a new house. And she's thinking this house is a little funny, a little bit different. What she finds and discovers is that she can actually sink into these mysterious and weird paintings of the house. And she finds out there's a bigger mystery than any of that, because there's a man who's trying to kidnap and steal children through these paintings. Okay? So this is only a good book if you're into things that are a little scary, a little dark. If you don't want to read that, don't check this book out, because I'm telling you, this one left me feeling kind of creepy. Alright. Next up is kind of more of a fun, creepy book. This is Hansel and Gretel Zombies. Now, it's just the fairy tale story of Hansel and Gretel, but instead of just the regular children, Hansel and Gretel are actually zombie children. And they are out trying to find some poor person who could help them as children when they're disguised, so that way they could lure that person back to their graveyard home and eat their brains. Now, it's really kind of a funny book if you're into zombies, and it's not a very scary book at all. What I liked about this is part of the Far Out Fairy Tales series. While this is the only one really with zombies, but they have a lot of other fairy tales that they have updated and kind of given a new twist to that are a lot of fun. So check these out in the library. This is a graphic novel, so it's really a lot of fun to read. All right. Up next on my book, though, we're switching to more funny books instead of scary, is The Terrible 2 Gets Worse. This is the sequel to this year's Blue Stem book, The Terrible 2. In the first one, Miles and Niles pull off the ultimate prank and sneak 200 cows into the school. In this one, the Principal Barkin, actually gets fired for letting these pranks happen within his school. And the two boys, Miles and Niles, have to find a way to get their principal back. Alright, next up, I really don't think many kids are going to need to be told to read this, but I was so excited to see it in because my son is loving the Dogman books. Dogman, A Tale of Two Kitties. This is the third book in the Dogman series. In this one, at the very beginning, we have the story of Dogman. It does a little bit of catch up with you, but Dogman finds a kitten that he decides to take as his home. Okay? But at the same time, this is the kitten who was supposed to be the clone of the evil villain from book number 2. So I really enjoyed reading Dogman. It's another graphic novel again, so loved this one. Up next is Help, I'm Trapped in My Principal's Body by Todd Strasser. This is a little bit older of a book, but it's a hilarious series. I really enjoyed it. In this one, some kids at school have access to a machine that allows two people to switch bodies, and they trick the principal into switching bodies with one of the other boys. Now, Barry Dunn is the school bully, and these boys, Jake and Josh, have a plan to get one of them to switch bodies with the school principals so the principal can finally catch the bully Barry and get him in trouble for everything he's been doing to the kids at their school. Very funny, hilarious book. Up next is part of the Animal Arc series. This is called Bunny in a Basket. If you are an animal lover at all, this will be the perfect book for you. In this story, Mandy Hope goes with her best friend, James, to visit his cousin Nadia, and they meet Nadia, who at first they think she might be kind of snobby and not very nice, and she has a pet bunny, but throughout the story the bunny gets sick, and it's up to Mandy to help convince Nadia that the bunny needs something. Alright, here we have Poacher Panic. This is the first book in the Wild Rescue series. This is really an awesome book about Ben and Zoe Woodward, and they find out that they have been contacted to be part of a secret organization that goes out and saves wild, endangered animals. Now, I don't want to tell you who it is that's contacting them and wanting them to go out and help all these animals, but I will tell you, in this story, Ben and Zoe go out and they have a chance to help save a family of tigers. The scary thing is, will the tigers get them before they can help save these tigers from poachers who want to kill them? And the last book I have is called The Homework Machine by Dan Gutman. Now, imagine this. It's got to be the perfect dream for fifth graders here. 4 fifth grade students invent a homework machine. All you have to do is scan in your homework assignment, and the machine will print out a correctly answered paper. So, we have 4 best friends. Actually, they started out not really knowing each other, but by the end they become best friends. And they have a machine that will complete all of their homework for them. Quite an adventure. There's also a secret, suspicious person who keeps emailing them, following them, trying to track them down, who seems to want to get his hands on the homework machine. Alright, so there's a few books you can check out before Christmas break. I hope you really enjoy them and find some of them in our school library. Thanks.